Hi friends, hi community members, moms, an overwhelmed solution for moms. Thank you for being a part of this community and Happy New Year. It's our first live training of 2026. Just looking at a little dusting of snow on the hilltops out my window. It is fully freezing and winter. And I'm excited to be here with all of you to share my knowledge and expertise to help you in all things motherhood and finding joy as a mom. And I created a post this week and sent out a newsletter. If you're not on it, you can comment below to request getting on the newsletter. Just thoughts and reflections coming into this new year. And I was thinking about how we see all these posts and people saying, new year, new you, like the fitness offers and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what came to me was new year, new permission to be happy in whatever way you want. That there really is no right or wrong way. There is no right or wrong way to do motherhood, to love on your kids, to create structure at home or boundaries, or be really scheduled or unscheduled, to send your kids to school or to unschool. Like really, really such a personal decision based on what your child needs and what you want and what works for you as a mother. And I want to invite you to give yourself new permission that you've never given before in this new year to do things the way that you want them for you, that brings you more ease, more harmony within yourself, that will create harmony in your home, more joyful connection in your life, what lights you up, and more of that with your child. And if you have a child who's having meltdowns, who's struggling emotionally, who is having anxious outbursts, or is angry at you a lot, irritable, then that's going to be the number one obstacle for you to solve to having peace at home. You can't work around that or tiptoe around that enough to feel peaceful within yourself. It just doesn't work that way. It's not going to work. Your child having outbursts or meltdowns is not something you can really mind over matter. It's a problem that you need a new technical solution to solve, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. All right, so stay tuned. I've got new workshop dates for you, a 2-day workshop coming up in January. If you already know you want to make that one, go ahead and just give me some emojis or say link below. Let me know that you want that link, and I'll be sure to get it to you. But what we're going to be focused on today in this live training is how to stop tantrums or meltdowns with your deep feeling child. And I'm going to give you one big aha that will hopefully land for you in understanding. It's a way of thinking about your child to shift from the way that causes overwhelm to a more productive way that brings you some peace. So let's dive in and get started. And I'm looking down because I'm just looking at my notes here. I can't seem to stream from Zoom anymore, so I'm not on my laptop. And I know the sound isn't great, and I really do hope you guys can hear me. Will you just give me a little thumbs up if you can hear me? Sometimes the audio is less than optimal on my phone, so do let me know if you can hear. And we'll go ahead and dive into this content. So I wanted to start by giving you a frame of like, who is the deep feeling child, okay? A deep feeling child feels their emotions more intensely. They feel things more intensely. Sometimes parents will describe them to me as, my kid is so intense. The feelings are so extreme. The behaviors are so extreme. I thought I had do not disturb on. I do, and I'm still getting in. Okay. So the deep feeling child has bigger feelings, bigger reactions, more intense meltdowns or longer meltdowns over what seem like small things. So to you, it may seem like no big deal. This is a small thing. They can also get stuck in that feeling, not able to get out of it, really attached to it. And all of your attempts to help them move out of it or get over the thing just seem to make things worse. So raise your hand, click the like button if this has happened to you before. Any of these things sound familiar. So you may see them or the behavior as dramatic. You may think you're being so unreasonable. Why are you being so unreasonable? Why can't you just cooperate with me? This is how it feels to have a deep feeling child. Lots of deep feeling kids also have a hard time following simple tasks. They get emotionally overwhelmed. They get mentally overly taxed over really seemingly easy things, okay? They have a hard time transitioning from A to B. All right, are you hearing? Any of you have a kid like this? So tell me yes if you do. The emotional dial. So if you imagine that you have a dial for your thinking and your overthinking. If you're an overthinker, your thinking dial is turned way up. It's too high. It's higher than it needs to be. If you have an emotional dial, it's right here. Let's say you have an emotional dial and you're a pretty easygoing person when nothing is ruffling your feathers and life's going, day to day is going okay for you. Your emotional dial, let's say on a 1 to 5 is a 1 or a 2. Your deep feeling child is going to have a number that's much higher on their emotional dial. They're going to be, let's say their default is a 2, their calm setting, their relaxed setting is like a 1, a 2. Instead of hovering there and waiting for something hard to happen and then spiking up, they're feeling things intensely all the time. So their emotional dial runs high. They may be on a 3 waking up in the morning. They may wake up on a 5. They may overreact to things and often bounce 3 to 4 to 5. And the intensity of what they feel hovers high like that more of the time than for their siblings or friends, okay? So that dial is just turned up higher for them. Part of it's their temperament. Part of it is their hardwiring. Part of it, maybe they take after a family member. Maybe they are predisposed to be kind of an anxious person. Also, maybe they are very strong-willed or highly sensitive. These are temperament traits that can mean that the dial is turned up a little higher for certain kids. Okay, I want you to picture this. So to understand how their wiring works, imagine that all of us, but your kid has an oxygen tank on their back. They're wearing it like a backpack. It's an oxygen tank on their back. And this tank, instead of holding oxygen, actually holds all of their emotions. Okay, so it's an emotional container. It's an emotional tank. All right, so happiness, excitement, anxiety, dread, disappointment, anger, fear, all of these things are in the tank at different times. And when emotions run high or they get intensified for your child, for your deep feeling child, what happens is there's not enough room in the tank. Okay, for a more typical child, there's space in the tank for all the emotions. Anger rises up and then it dissipates. And then a moment later, there's playfulness or joy. For young kids, works like that, right? You distract them out of whatever's stressing them out, and then they're happy about something else a minute later. Some kids can do that. Some kids can do that. It seems miraculous. If you have a deep feeling child, you'd be like, no, I don't even believe it. The deep feeling child's tank is really filled up already. Remember that emotional dial is turned up high. So instead of having a few little emotions settled at the bottom or bouncing around, there are likely some ongoing big emotions that are taking up a lot of space in the tank, okay? Unresolved things that they feel uncertain about, anxious about, things they don't understand, a conflict in your relationship or with another parent. It's already hanging out in there. It's on like a simmer, like a low boil. Okay, so are you following? It's making sense. So those things get ignited. Your kid has a big reaction, turns into tantrum, meltdown, outburst, yelling, fighting with you, slamming a door, crying, these kind of things. Okay, So the biggest mistake that loving, attentive, sensitive moms make is trying to fix what their child is feeling, trying to change the way they feel it. And when you try to fix what's in the tank, hopefully this is making it clear for you. Usually parents are trying to convince the child they don't need to feel a certain thing, or that it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's okay. We can fix it. I hear really type A, high achieving moms do this all the time with their kids. It's not a big deal. We can fix it. Let me help you. Okay, what's happening there is in the tank, things are getting kicked up. Things are getting stirred up. Now you're coming in, your child is feeling all these things. It's about to boil over. And you're coming in and saying, nope, no problem. Let's just change your tank out really quick. Well, your kiddo, I mean, this thing is strapped on tight. They know that this is going to be a situation that already they feel out of control of. And someone is swooping in and saying, I got it. Here's a new tank, one you've never worn before. I know it looks really different. I know you know nothing about it, but I'm just going to rip off the one you have on and slap this one on you, and then it's all going to be good. Now, an anxious child who's already uncertain, who's already sensing they're totally out of control of what's going on, to have someone swoop in and say, I'm going to control it for you, does not give them what they need. It actually exacerbates their symptoms in that moment. It increases their anxiety, their fear response, and that's when you get the boiling over. What you've just done that you didn't mean to do is, if their feelings are like baking soda in the tank, big piles of baking soda, you just poured vinegar right onto that. And the reaction you get is that volcano experiment that you've seen in at least once in your child's elementary years. And you've just poured that vinegar onto the baking soda and created that chemical reaction of the volcano exploding and overflowing. Okay. We can all probably relate to this, to the moment we've had in our lives where we are just barely hanging on to our grip of control over something, and someone says something and it's the straw that breaks the camel's back, and you just blow up, you erupt. It's the same thing with the deep feeling child. The emotions are bigger than the container. The tank is too small for the size and the intensity of the feelings they're having. And you just accidentally stepped on a landmine and made it worse, trying to help them. And it's so frustrating, I know, as a parent, and I've been there, it's so frustrating to be working so hard to maintain your sense of calm, to be grounded for them, to be present for them, to offer what you think is a great solution. You're going to quick fix it for them, and then to have it all fall apart, to have them explode anyway. And every last thread of your patience you are holding on to at that point just completely melts. And then both of you are in a real puddle of trouble because both of you are experiencing emotional overwhelm at the same time. It's like, this is where you wish you could be rescued, but there's no rescuing for the mom in the situation. Okay, making sense? Say yes below if it's making sense to you, if you've ever been there. So when you try to approach their feelings this way, you will lose that battle, but you will also lose the war. And the war that you want to win is setting your kiddo up for success, for lifelong emotional intelligence, and being successful in being a good human and knowing how to handle what they feel without blowing up on people they love and care about. And the war is also your relationship with them, and that's the one you want to win. The battle doesn't matter as much if you lose the war. Who cares? If you lose your relationship and your connection with your kiddo, none of this in the moment matters. None of that matters. What matters most is teaching them how to have the mental health that they're going to need for the long haul, especially girls going through adolescence, but boys too. We see so much of a sense of deep emptiness in boys now that grow up to become to need to control girls than women in their lives. And what we want is to raise kids who know how to regulate their emotions, who know who they are, who have an authentic sense of self, and to teach them how to be successful like that. You need an approach that addresses their very big, intense emotions, that teaches them how to regulate those, and then how to ultimately be empowered in who they are, in what they feel, so they don't need to control and overpower other people. Okay. This is what we do. This is how I help my clients. In my 16-week Awaken Motherhood program, I help moms to implement a strategy that eliminates these power struggles, these emotional battles, and the emotional overwhelm that follows. Okay, so I'm teaching parents how to win the battle, but more importantly, how to win the war with their kids and really win that closeness and connection in their relationship with them. This isn't just about let's get sanity for today and eliminate the meltdowns today. This is the long view that you want to be looking at, right? You want to be investing now to create the relationships that you want in the long haul with your kids. So the approach that I teach is far more powerful than behavioral interventions. I know some people try CBT, they've tried gentle parenting. You may have tried these things. You may have realized somewhere along the line that you didn't ever really learn how to set boundaries. Boundaries are another way of saying that emotional container for your child. And now it's kind of falling apart and you need a plan. And that's what I'm going to bring you. So 2 things I have for you. If you'd like to learn how I teach my clients to set up the system for them, I'm offering a free 2-part training. That's on January 20th and 21st. And as always, there's a replay available for 24 hours after, so no reason not to sign up and join. If you'd like the details for that one, say link below. Drop me some fun emojis. I'll make sure to get you the registration link so you can sign up after this. The other thing is, if you're already struggling and you don't want to wait and you know something about my work and how I help clients, and you have a hunch that I could probably help you with your deep feeling child to end the emotional chaos and to really create harmony and peace at home, then go ahead and book a clarity call. So I will drop the link below this. The URL is www.honorjanetsky.com/call. You can always just drop a comment too that you want the call booking link. Let me know you'd like to chat, and we can always start that too in the chat, in the messenger. For those of you who are very, very busy, that's absolutely fine. You can let me know what's going on with your kiddo. We'll pick it up from there, and then if it makes sense for us to have a call, we can do that. Okay, so I'm just wishing you a beautiful, prosperous, loving, harmonious new year. We're going to kick it off with this awesome workshop so that you have a system in hand to put into practice. You can also kick it off with a call. We can have a live conversation about what's going on for your kiddo. And I'm happy to help you, give you recommendations, or invite you to work with me, whatever is the best fit for you. Okay. Thanks so much for joining live, you guys. I can see people are on. I can't see who you are, but thanks for joining live. Say link if you want the link, and then up for the workshop, or say call if you want to book a call, and I'll reach out to you. We can set it up. Okay. Have a great day, you guys.